I feel like this is now the bridesmaid. Oh, that's really disappointing because I've been eating this stuff so many times since we've been in Korea. We rock up into some strange neighborhoods, don't we? Oh, milk lady. That's so cool. So today's mission is to compare gimbap from a restaurant to gimbap from a convenience store, because we've eaten a lot, Michelle, of gimbap, a lot of gimbap since we've been in Korea, and it's fast becoming one of my favorite snacks. But I have to say, the convenience stores, the GS25s, the CUs and the 7-Elevens, it's okay. It's clearly not a high quality gimbap. So we want to go out and compare what you'd get if you were ordering handmade gimbap on the streets. Whilst we're looking for the gimbap restaurant, let's have a little talk about gimbap and compare it to the Japanese style of sushi. They're quite different. They're similar, obviously, to look at. They're very similar products, but there is some stark differences. One of them is with the Japanese sushi, they mix it with a sweet vinegar, so a little sugar and a little rice wine vinegar. Oh, look at this little, cool little wagon. So we've been making a lot of videos for Daegu. It's cool. Thank you, man. Thank you. Kamsahamnida. Thank you. Yeah, so that guy was nice. He was just saying, what brought you here to Daegu? Why did you come? Isn't it a bit boring? But no, we find Daegu really cool. I mean, sure, there's probably more to see in Seoul and some of the big cities. If you've got good people, it's all much of a muchness, really. So, looking on the neighbour maps, we've got a 7-Eleven here, and I think our gimbap store is a little further down here on the right. So we could actually go in a 7-Eleven and get a gimbap to make a comparison, but I want to make sure, I'm not going to go and buy a gimbap in there until I've made sure the restaurant is open. Here we are. Oh, and there's a GS25 just opposite. I think I was talking about the differences between Japanese and Korean sushi stroke gimbap when I got interrupted. This is the place I'm looking for. Annyeonghaseyo, hello. It's getting close to lunchtime. I think she's got quite a lot of gimbap. She's got about maybe 8 or 9 gimbap made up, perhaps for somebody's lunch break. Oh, hello, man. Oh, hello. Okay, I got ambushed. And there's about 20 kids in the store. Lots of fun. I think I got 20 new subscribers, so that's good. So I'm going to go for a gimbap from the GS25. I'm not sure. This one's got a meat in it. There's no English writing on this one. And it's a meat of some sort. I think it's a pork. They haven't got a tonkatsu here. They've got tuna. And then we're going to go over the road. And I want to compare. So this is about 2,700 won. In the restaurant over the road, it's about 4,000 won for a gimbap. Let's compare and see what the quality is like. I feel a little embarrassed. I almost want to hide this one because it feels a bit disrespectful to go to her little restaurant and have a convenience store gimbap. So I'll put that put that in my back pocket. I think she'll appreciate, because we're going to make an honest review. I've decided to be honest and come clean. I've said to the lady that I've got a gimbap from the convenience store, and she's fine with it. So I've ordered a tonkatsu. So it's like a chicken schnitzel inside the gimbap. Now it's around about 4,000 won for a gimbap from here, 2,700. So 1,300 difference. Let's see what sort of quality difference in the taste and the presentation that we get. Beautiful little coffee shop just here. I was going to have the gimbap sat outside. Michelle's getting some B-roll for me. I was going to sit out here. There is a lovely little coffee shop just here. So Michelle had already said to the girl, we're going to eat here. She's played it all up. I wanted to go and sit. It was nice and air conditioned in the coffee shop, but you know, it's a hot day. It is hot and humid. But will you look at this Now, I've been loving these convenience store gimbap, but recently I've discovered that if you go and have an order of gimbap from a beautiful restaurant, you're often getting, well, it speaks for itself, doesn't it? It speaks for itself. I don't think she'll mind me here unpacking this and putting it right next door. Hopefully she'll be well, she's far too sweet. She's not going to give us a hard time. I smell the sesame oil coming off of this gimbap. It's almost sacrilege to put the convenience store one on the same plate, but I'm going to. So if you want to read, I'm not 100%, I don't think there's English on this one at all. So if you want to read and see what's in this one, definitely got some meat. Let's open it up. So 2,701. There it is, nothing wrong with that. It looks kind of pretty. It's very manufactured. But let's see this. So we've got at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We've got at least 8 pieces of gimbap as opposed to 10, but I think you'll agree these are 2 very different products. Now let's make a comparison. Okay, so here is the end from our lady here. I'm almost embarrassed to put them side by side. So I'm going to start with the piece from the convenience store. Okay, up until now, I would have eaten that and been quite happy. It's got chili in it, but it's kind of unprocessed, very spicy, a little under-seasoned, in my opinion, and no real flavors. There's not a lot of, there's almost zero flavor of sesame oil. And sesame is one of the key ingredients in Korean gimbap. I can smell the sesame oil coming off of this lady here. She's so patient letting us come in. It's so sweet of her. But you take a look at this. Wish me luck. That's almost impossible to explain. That is like Michelin star McDonald's. There is so much different. The complexities, the flavour. She's wrapped up the perilla leaf in there, or sesame seed, or sesame leaf. Honestly, you're getting at least a third more gimbap. You've got a lovely piece of pork schnitzel in there, pork tonkatsu, which she's just fried. It's completely fresh. Certainly the one, I'm not even tempted to dip back into the convenience store one, to be honest. This is so good. You're really talking about, you know, just over there's my GS25. Here I am in this little mum and pop gimbap store. $1 extra. I'm getting a third more gimbap. So much flavour. I'm never going back in the convenience stores. If I can find somebody making gimbap fresh like this, I'm always going to come into these places, because quite frankly, oops, she hasn't quite cut through. Take it back. I really struggled getting that piece off. She didn't quite nip through the bottom of the gim. Little piece of tonkatsu. She's also put on a little tonkatsu sauce, which she's put on fresh, which is lovely and sweet and meaty and smoky. I feel like this is now the bridesmaid. I mean, you can see how much thicker, for instance, the rice is on this one. It's mainly rice, not so much content. As in contrast, it's packed full of delicious ingredients. Look at that. Anyway, my second piece. No. Oh, that's really disappointing, because I've been eating this stuff so many times since we've been in Korea, and I've been missing out. I highly recommend to you, I'll put the location of this lady's store. If you're in Daegu, come down, support her. She's making ingredients fresh every day. She's absolutely lovely. She's been really tolerant of us as well, coming here and doing this filming. Unannounced, we couldn't tell her we were coming. She's been really tolerant. But also, frankly, the flavours and the quality of this are second to none. I'm completely converted. You should be too. Always, when you're in South Korea, support these small stores. Come out and get gimbap from here. I'd be lying if I'm not honest. I've had so many, and I'll probably still have some more from some convenience stores. There are some I prefer to others, but not one of them has come even close, and not even within 40% of flavour, content, size, quality of what I've had here today. So, as I say, I'll leave the link down. If you're in Daegu, come and support this lady. If you're not in Daegu, you're somewhere else in South Korea, support these little stores. I'd hate to see them taken over by the big convenience stores. I can't even eat that now. Your gimbap is number one. Number one. I almost forgot to pay. Thank you. 감사합니다. So there you have it. Highly recommend. Now, Michelle, I need a cool down. Do you want to come over and have a coffee in?
Okay.
So this little coffee shop here, I liked. Well, what struck me at first was the handles. I love they've got like coffee groups as handles. And wow, lovely and fresh. I've gone for a hot coffee. I know it's hot, but I just prefer a hot coffee. Michelle's gone for an ice latte. This lovely young girl is making what looks to be a really nice quality coffee. And you get a choice of the different coffee beans. So you can go for there's a light roast, medium roast, and a dark roast. I've gone for the medium. I'm not a big fan of the dark roast, the very sort of sweaty dark French roast. You can never go wrong with good coffee in Korea. Anyone that's been to Korea will know they've got more coffee shops than any other country in the world. More coffee shops. Oh, yeah. Thank you. 감사합니다. But she's even put a little heart on the top there, look. So from great gimbap to great coffee. Oh, that's lovely and strong. That's beautiful. Thank you. Perfect. Lovely lady.
She's put it in a double cup, well, both in cups.
Yeah.
Good.
Good coffee. Can't go wrong with coffee in Korea. Looked a bit like a goldfish that had just died on its side. Is it a good one? Yeah, this is good coffee. Time for you guys to leave us to enjoy our coffee. I don't think I finished saying the difference between Japanese sushi and Korean gimbap because I kept getting interrupted, or at least I got a squirrel mind and kept looking at other things. So most people know when you're making Japanese style sushi, you'll use rice vinegar with a little sweetening in it. Sometimes it's sugar, sometimes it's honey, and that cuts through the starches of the rice. And it's a delicious sort of contrast. Here in Korea, they use sesame oil. So it's a similar thing. It cuts through the starches, but you get this lovely sesame oil flavor, which I really highly recommend. The other notable difference between gimbap and sushi is that gimbap is often cooked or processed foods that go inside. So you'll see the crab stick, you'll see the little tonkatsu schnitzel, mainly cooked foods, whereas in sushi you'll often get raw tuna, raw octopus. So there is quite a difference. So they're the main differences between gimbap and sushi. If you've got any others you know about that maybe I haven't mentioned, let us know. I'll just add this in at the end of the video. Take care. Thank you. 감사합니다. I know a lot of you will be going, that's horrible. But look, when in Rome, I bet you that tastes absolutely beautiful. But it's that fresh. It's an eel, I think, because you saw the slime on the outside.